The HSBC BWF World Tour Finals reached its summit as fans witnessed the crowning of new champions on finals day. First up was the tantalising clash between India's Pusala v Sindhu and her Japanese rival Nozomi Okuhara in women's singles. Having been runner-up in 4 tournaments this year, Pusala had plenty to prove against the very player who beat her in an unforgettable World Championships final in Glasgow last year. Pusala and Okuhara engaged in testing rallies in the opening game, but the Japanese lapsed in concentration at key moments, giving her opponent a 1-0 lead. Pusala kept her composure in the second game, as Okuhara was powerless to stop her opponent from snatching a famous 21-19, 21-17 victory, thus becoming the first Indian to win the season finale.
Even though I was leading, she came back and she fought hard. So, sometimes I was actually remembering about the last finals, but I just thought, no, that's not the time I have to think about, and then I was back into focus again. But otherwise, it's been very good, and I think Okuhara also played very well.
The mixed doubles final followed, with Zheng Siwei and Huang Yachong taking on national teammates Wang Yilu and Huang Dongping. With 7 consecutive losses in all meetings, world number 2 duo Wang and Huang were determined to set the record straight. The first game was played at ferocious speed, but it was Wang and Huang who would get the start they wanted. Zheng and Huang regrouped in the following game, forcing a decider. The decisive third game was hard-fought, with Wang and Huang finally defeating Zheng and Huang to seal their first World Tour title in memorable fashion, winning 23-21, 16-21, 21-18.
还是比较兴奋的吧，因为也是突破一个0的突破吧。但是我是觉得还是要更多去总结这个比赛，因为首先我们是没有包袱的一方，一直在输，所以说他们肯定是没有包袱，我们是没有包袱的那一方。我觉得这是最重要一点。然后剩下的就是必须要好好去总结这场胜利的原因吧。
In the men's singles final, home favourite Sho Uchi also celebrated one of the finest moments of his career. In this contest against the reigning world and Asian champion Kento Momota, the Chinese world number 2 began his title assault by raining down smashes with astonishing accuracy to take a 1-0 lead. The Japanese ace was a shadow of himself as he laboured to turn the tide in the second game. Shirt was simply irresistible, and after 49 minutes he successfully reversed the result of this year's World Championship final against Momota. 21-12, 21-11 the final score.
很高兴吧，因为之前一直没有赢过，包括现在在这么大一个舞台总决赛、决赛，我觉得能突破它，我觉得对自己是一个经历过就好了吧。首先第一个就是因为它属于现在是在顶端嘛，那我们大家都会有去研究它，但是今天我觉得最重要是我能够坚持自己的信念吧，也是打法。
The women's doubles finale was up next. Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi were ready to do battle against Korea's Lee So-hee and Shin Seong-tan. The Olympic champions dominated the opening game, and it was only a matter of time before the Japanese tandem would secure the advantage at the changeover. Matsutomo and Takahashi were at it again and placed themselves in the driving seat early in the second game. But with 4 championship points, the former world number 1 suddenly found themselves under pressure as Lee and Shin defied the odds to tie the game 20-20. However, a timely challenge against an incorrect line call on the next point gave Matsutomo and Takahashi a 5th championship point. Making no mistake this time around, the experienced pair pounced for the second finals crown of their career with a 21-12, 22-20 victory.
この前回2014年にスーパーシリーズファイナルで優勝した時は多分予選リーグで1回負けて優勝だったので、今回本当に予選リーグから全勝優勝っていうのは本当に意味のある大会になったなと思うので、来年からレースも始まりますし、本当にいい状態で迎えられたらなと思います。
The men's doubles contest concluded the day, and it was to be a sweet end for Guangzhou. Home favourites Li Junhui and Liu Yuchen gave a powerful display as Japan's Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe struggled to keep up. The Japanese duo started well in the opening game, but faded badly once the world champions found their momentum. Li and Liu proceeded to stamp their authority on the match, claiming the title in straight games 21-15, 21-11.
我觉得主要在细节当中吧，因为我们每一场球都打得非常艰苦，然后我觉得我们一直在吸取每一场的经验。觉得今天这次比赛我们两个也是豁出去了吧，觉得也绝对是每一场都是全力以赴的，所以说我觉得这个值得我们去学习，因为可能也是最后的收官之战，所以说我们可能就是更加的努力，因为之前我们稍微有了2个星期的那个恢复期吧，就算是训练时间，所以说我们针对这一场总决赛也是付出了不少东西的。